trusted. This is the opinion, ear to ear. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over. They unleash their lawyer, set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley. But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw. I don't need to close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So maybe I repeating go. They like a natural disaster. 10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on their knees. And I'm begging, go now, and I did one week. Prophesy to the country, streets turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing, go now. This is my humble petition. Announce the date for election, go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff their pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts. Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation. Go. To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on the knees. And I'm begging, go now. They try to stick me with rage me. They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. That's why I'm singing. Go now. Please, Mrs. Kamla. Go now. Take Munila and Sharma. Go now. Please. Them and them minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick. Swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat-eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni. Sweet man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And Mill was awful, gone through it to pull. Don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they does follow now. Before we regret tomorrow, please. You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample. Go. It's only vice they desire now. Before the 5 years expire. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on their knees.
Yes, Igwe.
Igwe! Oh, go on now. Stay with me, Igwe. Watch. Igwe, most persons, when they're talking about the program, they say they just like that part.
Stay with me, Igwe.
Stay with me, Igwe. So, Igwe, stay with me. Independent Talk for today, the 15th September 2024. Sunday. We have a few things to unpack, Igwe, today. I hope we get the time to do so. Devon is not here with us today. He had some other things pressing to do so. He's not here. Grenada still remains my constituency. Real FM is my parliament for the time. I'm the people's spokesman, ably assisted, my noble assistant, Igwe, blessed and protected by the Ancient of Days. My purpose here is to simply bring people the facts. Fact check me. Don't let me just say things, so check it out. And if you find me wanting, call in and say, you see that? And that is not so, because here is it. Facts has only one side, so I do afraid. Opinions matters not when it comes to facts. What you do with the facts is a matter entirely for you. I'm here to advocate for truth and justice, even when it will personally affect me, because justice delayed is justice denied. I'm here to advocate for those who cannot do it for themselves. And we see what going on with them people in Carriacou, St. Patrick's and others, and Grenada as a whole. We're here to bring hope to those who are hurting by the actions of this present government. Our currency and legal tender is unvarnished information, truth, and facts. Real FM, real media.
New media.
It's Real FM, real media.
New media.
Where shame is absent, anything could happen. Now, Igwe, we have some things we want to unpack today. We don't know if we'll get through all, but I'll kind of hint. Pay and grade for police and the recent state of prisoners escaping. Somebody say, mention the road on Howard Blaze Street because you have money in the supplemental for roads. You know that road? Yeah.
We'll follow along.
Somebody say, mention how the government intend to profit off the CRIF money by putting it in GDB so the friends and them could get. They say to ask Andy about the coconut from India, the $2 million worth of coconut. They say we must mention about the recent crime state in the country. We must speak to health, because I see they send out some kind of thing with health. We go with the cost of living. Running a country, loans deferral, and the implications. Somebody say we should ask about the $22.5 million of independence. What's going on with that? With all what we're hearing now about the pandemic, not the pandemic, the disaster. And somebody say touch on the reasons why the government receive less grants than usual. And we must touch on the minimum wage. So these are some things we need to speak to. We must remind people about the Samoa Agreement and the way this government is handling the disaster. Now, many moons ago, we told people that the National Democratic Congress is arrogant, inexperienced, and lack institutional knowledge. And people say, oh, all of them in the bush up there making noise. But every action of the NDC is true to form. Either the arrogance so they could cause bad word and nobody can say nothing. They could tell people shut up, sit down in parliament. They could call people hungry and mouth on the ground. And when you tell them about it, they seem to think the Speaker of the House could rule wrong and they don't tell him nothing. Sometimes the Prime Minister has to kind of come and say certain things to make him realize what. And lack of institutional knowledge. Now, anything we see, we have receipts for that. So you go play your clip with the Starboy. And then we go break it down.
Came up with that. I was in Carriacou on the airport, and the idea came to me. I had an architect right by me at the same time. And I said, listen, why can't we do boat houses with wall frame? He said, Andy, that's a good idea. And I'll show him exactly what I'm talking about. He took it and made it into a design. So what you see in the picture you had up there, the first picture with the house, that was my idea in terms of Project Build Back Better.
Nice.
And that's me thinking, how can I use my resources? How can I use what I have to help the people of Greater Carriacou and Peter Martinique? Because I know I'm here only for a while.
Yeah.
So while I'm here, let me do the best I can do for for our people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martin.
So balance that out, Igwe, with what he said in the church. Because we have to balance everything here, We have to be fair.
Let me just tell you, I have no original idea. Let me just tell you, I have no original idea. Every idea that I have, I get it from someone, right? People think that Andy is so brilliant and everything. I have no original idea. I always get an idea from someone. Now, 10 years ago, Brother Cornwall, I could have been in prison, right? I lost my job. And this lady right here and my dad bailed me out, right?
So balance that out with what he said when he was on the airport. Because I want people to hear him.
I came up with that. I was in Carriacou on the airport, and the idea came to me. I had an architect right by me. I was in Carriacou on the airport, and the idea came to me. I had an architect right by me at the same time. And I said, listen, why can't we do boathouses with wall frame? He said, Andy, that's a good idea. And I'll show him exactly what I'm talking about. He took it and made it into a design. So what you see in the picture you had up there, the first picture with the house, that was my idea in terms of Project Build Back Better.
So put up
and that's me thinking, how can I use my resources or
the boathouse or anything
to help the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique, because I know I'm here only for a while.
Yeah.
So while I'm here,
the house, I want the house up big.
The best I can do for our people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique.
You can give me the house, Igwe?
Yeah,
because we have to show the thing. Alright. So the man says, I have no original idea. Every idea you hear me speak of is somebody had given. And then now you see you are sitting on the airport, and an idea come to him. So here's what, Andy. Because we don't come here only to criticize, we giving advice here too. The house model the government is marketing for Carriacou is not designed appropriately to harvest rainwater. First thing. And I want them to challenge me on that. Secondly, because the commodity of water harvesting is traditionally relied by the people of Carriacou. So the model or the design you see down the airport, and the idea come to you, a man without no original ideas. So that's why the stupidness happening. Because a man without no original ideas have the idea. The idea came to him. So you realize the stupidness they know already, Igwe? No consultation with the technocrats or the people of Carriacou. So Andy not a kayak. If it was Tevin who say that, we could have said Tevin is a kayak. So he might know. So Velcro, hand. So no consultation. Because he didn't say he consulted anybody, He says he was sitting there and the idea came to him. And he asked the man, and the man said that could work. So that's why we see what we see there. So rain harvesting is a thing. So we want to know who is Andy Williams, Minister Extraordinaire or the Prime Minister. Because he sat on an airport and get the idea for the houses designed in Carriacou without checking no technocrat or people from Carriacou. He is not an engineer by profession, so he make the decision in lieu of advice from the technocrats and the engineer. So he's the minister of everything. You understand what I'm saying? So that points to Deacon Mitchell leadership by avoidance or lack of leadership or weak leadership or no leadership. Because if a man without any original idea could come up with a design for hurricane resistant houses in Carriacou without consulting nobody. The technocrats, he is not an engineer. Well, the Carriacou people, Carla get Korean. Because we play the taping. We didn't just come here and say in this thing. Because lack of institutional knowledge, arrogance, and inexperience mash up the revolution. 4 years, 7 months, and 17 days equal. Why let the people and see the house? Why are you taking out the house for? We talking about the house for the man sitting on the airport. Why are you going on for? Let the people see what I'm afraid of. Let them see, not me they want to see. They want to see the man what the idea the man see down in the airport. The man with no original ideas who could have gone in jail by his words. Without no consultation with any technocrats or engineers. Can you say he? And they argue with him so like they afraid him. Even the person was around him. Play that again, let me hear who was around him because I want to be fair.
Came up with that. I was in Carriacou on the airport and the idea came to me. I had an architect right by me at the same time. And I said, listen, why can't we do both houses
You're an architect.
with wall frame?
So
That's a good idea. And
so even the architect afraid to tell him man by stupid he's to talking. He tell him he could work. But the main thing about the houses in Carriacou, the harvesting of rainwater, that design on them, it not work. It not work. So persons look close at the pattern. Just don't take my word for it. Go back and look. And you will see the man without any original idea. I don't even quantify him on the road to Damascus. I'm saying on the road to Carriacou, an idea came. Let's take a small break, Eagle.
From the north, covering south, east, and west. This is Real FM.
You tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. One-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes, yeah. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over. They unleash their lawyer, set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley. But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw. I don't need more close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So maybe I repeating. Go. They're like a natural disaster. Now. 10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on their knees. And I'm begging, go now. And I did warn we. Prophesy to the country. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. That's why I'm singing. Now this is my humble petition. Announce the date for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. Corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts. Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. protect the future, please, for the sake of we children and the next generation. To safeguard our image before Griffith cause more damage like a dog with fleas. A dog on the knees. And I'm begging, they try to stick me with reach me. They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. That's why I'm singing. Please, Mrs. Kamla, take Munila and Sharma go. Nah, please. Them and them minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick. Swimming in a pool of dollars so blue.
Let me just tell you, I have no original idea. Every idea that I have, I get it from someone, right? People think that Andy is so brilliant and everything. I have no original idea. I always get an idea from someone. Now, 10 years ago, Brother Cornwall, I could have been in prison, right? I lost my job. And this lady right here and my dad bailed me out, right?
So, Igwe, the question is, 10 years ago, he could have gone in jail. The question begs, what could he have gone in jail for? And the follow-up question, with all that money you are passing to the ministry, I just hope 10 years after you don't go in jail. That is my hope, that you don't go in jail 10 years after. Because 10 years ago, you could have gone in jail. So I want you to tell the Grenadian public what you could have gone in jail for 10 years ago. And with all that money that flying freely in your ministry. Because they make all kind of song and dance about the $50,000 multiply by 200, which will end up in 10 million and 5 million unaccounted for. I just hope this guy, can you say he could have gone in jail? I want him to tell the people what he could have gone in jail for. And with that 5 extra million, I just hope it don't work out. And the sample of the house opposite Mellow Bakery, I want to know who that land for. I want to know who that land for, Igwe. Because you see, he say he coulda go in jail. So, a man who told the nation, a man who told or spoke before God and man and said, I have no original idea, all of a sudden was sitting on an airport and an original idea hit him. And the person around him, because they say the one who pays the piper call the tune. So I don't know if they're getting paid. I don't know. I agree.
The man's do not sing.
No consultation with the people of Carriacou because you say idea just come. No consultation with any engineers. And the Prime Minister letting you do that stupidness. So the Prime Minister practicing leadership by avoidance, or no leadership, or lack of leadership. So we go see. So no institutional knowledge, because Andy must know you have to consult. Because one of the main thing about houses in Carriacou is water harvesting, ego. Yeah. And are the designs adequate in achieving this? So we see in a close pattern that is our leadership. Or we seeing that Andy seems to be the leader of the country. Because if you're talking about build back better, and you're talking about building houses for the people of Carriacou, hurricane resistant, and a man who claimed to have no original idea just hit him, and he don't consult with nobody, and they running with it, something at the wrong ego. And that is the state of play. So when we say they crack already, they're just waiting to be buried. So NNP massively have to understand what's going on. Because the Prime Minister seems to be absent. Mr. Prime Minister, some people want to know, even persons in the diaspora who have attended the galas, they say there's no public information on the allegations of missing monies from a couple of galas held in the name of the office of the Prime Minister. So some people in the diaspora want to know. You have heard Barbara's right sing a song, we want to know. What's in that? What they call a boomba. The people in the diaspora also want some information on the allegation of missing monies from the fundraiser held under the guise of celebrating independence. Because they're asking us, because they realize when we ask the question, they don't see reaction. They also want to know what is the status of the funds raised from independence paraphernalia, things they sell for independence. They want to know if there's any truth to allegations of diplomatic posts for sale. They want to know that because they say there's allegations of that. They also want to know because there's allegations of state resources being used to solicit and pay for sex. There's allegations to that effect. So, Mr. Prime Minister, well, Andy, you're the Prime Minister, so you could answer that. Because in our time, they used to say wood for board. Yeah. Now the allegation is state resources for sex. Wood for wood. They also want to know, Igwe, about allegation of inside trade by and with politicos. Clarier, Andy. Clarier, Minister of Extraordinaire. Clarier. Just know the international community is paying attention to those allegations of human rights violation in the state of Grenada. And a few of its agents come to the fore. Well, you see, my little country, when things be saying about it, I go talk because I love this country and I love it bad. So I could even die for this country. So I must speak. I must scrutinize. I must ask, but these are some questions and I will ask it before the program finishes again. Because I want people to tell them, Igwe. Igwe, the road on Hobart Blaze Street in the town of St. George. Because we get all these monies for roads in every parish. But how long now this road is in disrepair? In the town. One of the main roads to exit the town and the traffic, they tell you to cease congestions, Igwe. You have to let out traffic. And that was the main road to let out traffic from the town. Andy, how kind of roads mentioned in the supplemental? You have roads under MIT, you have roads under Works.
People could eat the road.
Well, fix the road on Howard Blaze Street, please, Andy.
And how is it? People could eat the road.
Or is it transformation? So you transform the town so you can use Howard Blaze Street again? Because they like to talk about transformation. Eagle. So all they talk about transformation. I'm watching them hard. Fix the damn road. I was in Dennistown. Fix the damn road on Howard Blaze Street. If you have to go and collect something in Asprey office, you have to make all kind of spin around.
Yeah.
And I have bossing or thing. A little road in on Howard Blaze Street, I can fix. And I saying I am doing well. How I could do well and I like a road on Howard Blaze Street I can fix? The people want to know, Igwe, how much profit they intend to make on the CRIF money through GDB. Because you got the CRIF money, the insurance money, and you put in 25 million in GDB, you want to profit off a next man toil. Because all you don't want to put all your shoulder to the wheel. So all you go to end up rob and kill and steal. Because all you bring it to a raggy road. So tell us about why you intend to profit off of the CRIF money. What percent interest? Igwe? What percent interest you intend to gain from the CRIF money, the sum you put in GDB? You want to say something, Gates?
You know about this 2 million from India?
Yeah, or the coconut. I want to talk about it.
Oh, that the coconut.
That is the coconut.
That the coconut.
Yeah. We want to know if that money pay already. Or who get that money. Or who intend to take that money. Who frame Raja Rabbit? Because a man say he could have go in jail, but people know why he could have go in jail. And with all that money surrounding, it's like cat, they in the cheese field. Cheese go eat. Big pimpin. Spreading cheese, you know, Igwe. Big pimpin all in them galas up in NYC. Giga, PIMC. And I don't know who else. Born B. Igwe. Let's take the call, Igwe.
Alright, I just pinned on the phone line, so.
Eh?
Just could call back now.
Yeah. So you give the coconut plants from India, the $2 million. Well, we want to know.
I want to know about that too.
We need to know.
About the coconut.
We want to know. Tell us. Good evening, Tomika. The man in the wilderness, he stopped calling us, Igwe.
You called just now. You need a sign calling on the WhatsApp earlier.
You don't want to cry for the
People?
people of Grenada anymore.
Let's see if I can get him back.
The man from the wilderness saying trying to get you, Git.
Trying to get me? But I just locked down the line.
But why is the landline?
4420175.
Yeah.
Alright, I have him there. Hello?
Hello.
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, man, you there?
Right. Are you hearing me clear? I'm the voice of one
Clear like 7
in
up.
the wilderness. Yeah. I number one, the master call.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at the design of the house that Agitech Andy has said that he designed, I live in Carriacou and I have my property in Carriacou.
You must know.
And the design of the house that Andy says that this is his idea. I need to let Andy William know the design of that house. That's the way they build a cement shed or a tool shed in Carriacou on the site when they are about to build a house.
Yo.
So what he has there is a tool shed. And that's the way they build a tool shed in Carriacou. Now, typical example, when they build in the tool shed, it will have a runoff slope to the back. So that if the front of the tool shed is 10 feet high, in the back of the tool shed is going to be 9 feet 6 or 9 feet 5 to get a slope for the water to run. So when Andy speak about his design, you have to know that this design that he have is only one single piece of spouting that can be able to go on that house and is to the back. But whenever they're designing house in Carriacou for rainwater harvesting, they design the roof in a particular way that right wrong of that roof will be spouting. Most of the roof in Carriacou is what you call the bungalow.
Yeah.
Because you could have spouting to go right around the house, so no water would not be able to escape. So this design that he put up, this is not for Carriacou. And if he decide to use that design, dry weather will kill the people in Carriacou and Pitimatne. So I repeat, is a shed for tools that he has there. A shed for tools, and that is the wrong design. Number two, Master Call, what I really need to know, and I just cannot really comprehend that. After receiving a total of over $118 million for the rebuilding of the people that got damaged in Carriacou and Pitimatne, by extension, the people, some of them St. Max and also St. Patrick. Then you take part of that money. And you put $25 million in the GDB bank. What you intend to do is to make a profit out of that money. And by stupidly telling people to go to the GDB bank and obtain a loan. Now, who in Carriacou in a job? The people of Carriacou and Pitimatne have lost everything. Who in Carriacou and Pitimatne are qualified to go to the GDB bank to get a loan to build a house?
What are you using as security?
What do they using as security? Can a man at the age of 50 go to the GB and obtain a loan? No, Andy and Deacon. Somebody 80 years can go to GDB and get a loan? No, Deacon. Who in Carriacou are employed when they lost every living thing in order for them to be qualified for a loan? This thing is Cartoon Network. Is this government really thinking straight? It is better that you all come out and say the $25 or $30 million that you all place in the GDB bank is for your all friends to go there, which will be more qualified of getting it. And Master Carl, when I listen to the supplementary budget for 2024 and the way in which they really sum up the amount of money for the houses, do you realize that we have about million right now is unaccounted for.
And the guy say he could have
Where
going.
is that? Go ahead.
And the guy say he could have go in jail, and we know what he could have go in jail for.
Exactly. So let us take this thing serious. Where is that $5 million? This $5 million is already missing. Do we have people that is about to receive $1 million each from that $5 million? Let me tell you something, man. These things are corruption to the highest. And I want to let you, Mr. Tevin Anjo, know the people in Carriacou and Pitimatic has elected you for proper representation. And I need to let you know that you failed. You disappointed the people in Carriacou and Pitimatic. How in the name of God are you going back in front them to ask them to elect you back into office? You failed the people. And I am asking you, it is not too late to hold this government of Grenada in the throat and say like Nimrod, hey, give me my fair share for Carriacou and Pitimatic because I want to build back better from them. You could take a page from Elvin G. Nimrod, he's turning in the grave, and tell Dick and Mitchell, hey, I from Carriacou, man, Kakabawi for Kakabawi, give me my share. The Carriacou people are suffering. The Carriacou people, they are freezing in the cold. What has you done with this $118 million? I rest my case, Master. I'll have a good day.
Pastor. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Don't go ahead.
Yeah.
I need your expertise. You is a man in the construction business. Hello?
Yeah. I'm here, Master Carl.
You know a bit about building boat bridges.
Yes, sir.
So if a man get a contract for $90,000 to fix a boat bridge, and it takes him 2 days, he subcontract the project, and it takes that person 2 days to do that work. You think we getting value for money?
And I will ask the commuters who is about to pass across that bridge with a transport. You is going on a suicide mission. You is going on a suicide mission. And that is not value for money. 2 or 3 days, $90,000 to complete a bridge? No, sir. It's not adding up. The maths is not mathsing. The maths is not mathsing, Master Carl. Because you have to realize that what takes most of the money when you're wrecking a bridge like that is the foundation. And you have to get a good architect to scale that bridge, to let you know the amount of tonnage that will be passing on that bridge. And you have to make sure that foundation is solid. And most of that money can be able to spend on the foundation.
So if you just put some board, if you just replace the board.
No. Because you see, Master Carl, you have to realize that we'll just replace it. But then it all depends on what kind of a board you put in on it. Because if it's green heart
for 90,000,
a blue maho, remember that is you have to put material on that bridge that you know that can be able to last. You know, go and get pitch paint and put on that.
So ballpark $90,000. You taking all that to do that?
No. Something is not right somewhere, Master Carl.
So you see the procurement, the new procurement policy is to give. Is to give the friends, family, and acquaintances money.
Yeah, something is not
they
right.
They plundering the resources of the country. 2 days. They're quarreling with the Bushin people for taking 5 days to work, and they still paying them under minimum wage. But people getting 90,000 for 2 days work.
The friends and parties are. And I want Andy to know, please, Carriacou have good builders like Sky and all these other fellows like Abraham Pope, a wealth of good guys who know the design of houses when coming to rainwater harvesting. So Andy, with due respect to you, put on that stupidness and stop insulting the Carrico people with designing for rainwater harvesting is concerned.
But Pastor, before you go, the guy told the nation, before God and man, he has no original idea. He went on to say he could have been in jail. That his words, not mine. So how now?
And then he still have to give the
how now you're giving him all these responsibilities? And
but then, it's a very simple.
What troubles me, Pass, the guy say he could have go in jail. And we know why he could have go in jail. But why you tempting him with all this money? Like you setting him up?
Yeah, but Master Carl, there is a good reason why the Prime Minister is doing that. Because the Prime Minister could not put that on the housing. He couldn't put it on the Gloria Thomas. Because, definitely he would not have been able to benefit anything for himself as the Prime Minister under Gloria Thomas. The Prime Minister have a very good, strong relationship with Andy. He will never put anybody to be acting Prime Minister when he's out. So what you discover now, what I discover, not you, let me take back that. What I discover when I do my assessment is that the Prime Minister and his boys, especially the Prime Minister, is benefiting the wealth from Andy Williams. The Prime Minister is benefiting from Andy Williams because that is the only one in his cabinet he know that have a license for being dishonest. So the reason why you are packing all this amount of money in Andy's hand, because Mr. Prime Minister, you have to be honest. You know that Andy's qualified as a crook. You know he has sticky fingers. And you know whatsoever he doing and how he doing it, you're going to get your cut, bro. So that is the reason why. So don't be surprised. Let us follow the money, Master Carl.
The money.
This $5 million that is accounted for. Where is the money? Where is that money? Grenadians, open audio. Watch. There is a parang song in Carrico that Balvin Douglas, better known as Sugar Pat song. And I will speak. I can't sing it, but I will speak it. He said, Sugar Pat said, open your eyes, Grenadians. Open your eyes, I tell you. Open your eyes and see. Open your eyes, I tell you. And tell me who's turning stupidity. Watch it. These young men get into office to enrich themselves out of the coppers of the Grenadian people. Have a good day.
Just before you go, somebody message me, they say the bungalow roof has more space than the bomb shelter or the tool shed. So more water could be harvested.
Because the spouting in the bungalow roof.
They say if you check the area of the bungalow roof.
So it's taking all the water, Master Carl.
Yes.
The bungalow roof is taking, there are other design. But in Carrico, the bungalow roof are better suited for rainwater harvesting. But what Andy put up there is only one length of spouting, one single length of spouting that you could put in that on that building, and that is only to the back. So if you decide, if somebody decide to buy a house like that, and they decide to build a cistern at holding at least about 12,000 gallons of water, rain can be able to fall in Carrico for at least about a year or even more before that cistern could full, because there's only one single length of spouting. But when you're doing a bungalow, you have something 30 length of spouting, sometimes 20 something length of spouting. So tell Andy, stop insulting the intelligence of the builders in Carrico and stop his stupidness.
Somebody say he's seen UFOs. All right. Is he Andy seen UFO? There you go.
What are you seeing?
UFOs. Extraterrestrial.
Yeah, you go. So we get it there.
What are you doing?
We get it. We get it. From somebody who so you go the procurement policy. So if somebody could get a contract, let me say somebody get a contract for $90 And it take 2 days to do that work. Value $45,000 a day.
I hope they don't even cost $16,000. They just change the board.
So the country's resources.
4x4, a length of 4x4 is what? 170?
And how much length are they?
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe
Let me say 40 lengths. We giving them all that.
give them a little more. Let me say 80 lengths. Let's say about 80.
But
the bridges are good size.
Well, why the subcontractor? So if a subcontractor would take 2 days, what is the value for money? So the country resources just been given on, he hand away. So we were here, and a question came up, Igwe. About someplace in Vincent's.
The storage room?
I don't know about no storage room. I was just telling you the question came up about someplace in Vincent.
Okay.
And why the Marco Knob went on, they say someplace, because you see, that $90,000 breach, and a particular place, yeah, let me take the call. Hello?
Hello, what's happening there, man?
You want to go, bro?
Boy, are this in trouble? I don't know how true it is, but I want you to tell me if that is true. The farmers are to get assistance in cleaning up land. As far as I understand, or I don't know how true it is, they say that who working on the farming people land, they're taking out NIS from that money. After the past government make arrangement with insurance for people, any disaster, they get an insurance to help them. So I don't know if that is true. I want to know.
Well, I'm going to put up the Marco now and get that information for us. So when we come back here Wednesday, we go have it for it.
Okay.
Because we don't want to mislead people.
Yeah, that reason why I'm calling so mild today.
Yes.
You understand? So I get a hint. So I don't know if that is true. Okay?
All right. So, they say, Igwe, if you need a generator, or you need bags of cement, or you need chainsaw, or with it, they say you could go in Vincent and Darby. Yeah. When you're going down on the right hand side, I think. Yeah. Just before you take the hill. Yeah.
Good shop day.
Yeah, you could go and get you have merchandise. So the question begs, who or how this merchandise came into being? Is it part of the relief for Igwe
Karikou
and St. Patrick and St. Mark? So, like I always say, like my partner Crow, I just take a stroll. Because I know all that big borat and I won't stay in the hole forever. We go here. We go hear about the merchandising Vincent's and Davy. And persons could go and find out about the bridge. $90,000. And the connect between the bridge and the house of merchandise. The guy is an ordinary guy. They could find out those things, and that's why we say they crack already. We don't just choose that caption for fun. Igwe. The crack already. So Igwe, we're moving on. We want to touch a little bit on the minimum wage. Because too much people complaining. Them people are now working on the road, the debushers, they underpaying them. But I know they don't like the debushers long because you remember the 8 to 4? They say they don't working enough 8 to 4. But you could work 2 days and get 90,000. But you have to work 8 to 4 for $40-something. Dennis, make a better try. Please, no mama guy. Because they say Dennis is a guy, Igwe. But have a hard time dealing with reality. And like we say, intoxication also leads to hallucination, which manufactures fabrication and creates delusion, which causes people to go in the wrong direction. A word to the wise is sufficient, Dennis. So, we have a clip with the same guy without no ideas where he talk about it with no loans. Igwe, let me get that clip.
Junior, let me tell you something. I know
What?
PM.
Sharp.
I know Prime Minister. Prime Minister, if you hear me, I'm sorry. But Junior, they're talking about Treasury pregnant. If you were to come and look at the way we are managing the economy, we are in a much better position today than when we came in office. That is why we can have something like Hurricane Beryl and not even think about taking a loan. Right? Because our Prime Minister, was the First Minister of Finance. He did a great job. Our Minister Cornwall is doing an excellent job. And the economy is solid. That is why we can have something like Hurricane Beryl and not even venture into taking loans, because we can manage our affairs by ourselves.
Okay.
Right? And that is the evidence. So don't let no one fool you until about you get $100 million like it was all the time. Then guess what? It is only 20% of what we need. 20% of what we need. And we are not in a crisis. We are the patches of Hurricane Beryl, and we are not in a crisis. That is because we have managed the economy well.
So you say they manage the economy well. But we have a clip where Dennis saying with the liquor money they have, Igwe. They're trying what is he looking for? Let me read this thing, because you see, the guy had no original idea. So sometimes we just have to beat and teach. We have to teach him, and whilst we teaching him, we go beat him. Yeah. We call that beat and teach. You know, teach you how to say that? Yeah. On the same day, Grenada, through the Ministry of Finance, met with the international bondholders in a virtual meeting to discuss the impact of Hurricane Beryl and explain why the island needs to trigger the hurricane clause in international agreement causing deferral for payments of the 2030 bonds. Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall signed the order triggering the suspension clause of the Fiscal Resiliency Act. The Fiscal Resiliency Act set the template of debt to GDP and how you spend government money. So what happened now, with the clause suspension, they're spending money willy-nilly. But if we have to believe Andy, and if the economy was managed so much or so good, why did they have to trigger the suspension clause? And the original idea, stay out of things you don't know. So as of September 6, Grenada does not have to comply with the requirements for the public debt target and primary balance rule during the fiscal year 2024. And Grenada has triggered the hurricane clause to make a deferral payment on agreements whose payment dates are falling on 12 November 2024 and 12 May 2025. So Andy, Dennis should tell you when Grenada eventually starts to pay back this thing, will be $17 million in the red. You're talking about do take loan?
No loan not to pass.
Because you don't know. I just say stick to what you know. You nearly go in jail, you get away. Be grateful. And you don't have original ideas. Just stick to that. As senior say last time, he trying to go over his pay grade. So and the one you don't know.
Still tight.
Just don't say nothing. But Dennis, tell us about what will happen after this thing on Grenada get back on track. How much money will be behind? Tell us it's not 17 million. Because you like to listen and you like to react. And the maths don't maths in. So maths that maths source. Maths that maths source, Dennis. So tell Andy what he's saying. His dummy don't know. The only man going and to talk about financial matters, Dennis, brief the guy now. Brief the guy and say what? When they ask you this kind of thing on them, just say you don't know about that. Don't make yourself look ordinary and less. But Igwe, let me see what they tell me 3 o'clock this morning, because I don't want to think.
I mean, things happening.
They say Igwe. That for the last 3 months, remember, your clip where Linda asked the finance minister a question, and he said since the hurricane was about it, they sit down and speak about the thing. So, they say since 3 months ago, them fellas them start to have a problem with funds. So like they glad they will come in.
Okay.
But we go know, because place open like book.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry about that earlier. Good morning to you and the members of the panel. My question is, the first question is to the Minister for Finance. With regard to the suspending of the escape clause, can you tell us when that will be done and what is the period of time that will be in place for?
Well, I can say that we have had extensive dialogue and discussion at cabinet level yesterday, and we have, based on the submission, we have certain things to still fine-tune and clean up. Certainly after that, we should be able to at least take that position next Monday and be able to at least inform the general public on the way forward with some of the measures.
Now, within 24 hours, I think on the third news conference after burial, the Prime Minister announced that you had written to the international partners seeking a suspension of the loan agreements. Have you heard back from them, and what is the decision made with regard to that?
We have not sought a suspension of the loan agreements. What we have done is basically interact with them and utilize the measures that we are allowed under the loan agreement to defer payments if needs be. We began the process even before burial hit us on Grenada, because we were aware, based on the meteorological information, that Grenada was likely to be impacted by Hurricane Beryl, and therefore, days before Beryl hit us, we already put things in motion to ensure that we can interact with our partners at the World Bank, IMF, and other entities that we borrow from.
And my final question.
So Andy must know from the 6th of September, Grenada do not have to comply with the requirements of the public debt target. But if your economy doing so well, why you have to defer debt, Andy? If you're managing so good. And how much would we be in the red on the resumption of payment? And does the figure of 17 million makes any sense in that discussion, Igwe? So when Andy and trying to go and mislead the people, it's sad, but we here are not challenging them, you know. Are challenging them. Igwe. Gates. Tomorrow, the place will be confused when we go hear it in the news. Another
what coach it?
Another judgment
Has to pass.
Another judgment.
Against the AG?
I don't know.
Okay. I see nothing in the papers.
Watch. The government coffers. Lord. The AG they have to make you go.
Yeah.
You're costing government too much funds. Because your song they say captain the ship is sinking. You see some take plenty and go some peel for some take slow. Because you see when you're taking slow, you go to call it peel for. You take like you're walking in a place where rice is and you full pack the rice and go every day. You don't take in 100 pounds. So if your pocket could hold a pound, every 100 days you take 100 pounds. So if you work for 365 days, you take 365 pounds. So I don't know if the AG and them have it so much so they're giving it away. Maybe Andy say they're managing. So Andy that while doing all this kind of stupidness and giving it away. Well, they say a judgment. They say tomorrow could be a big day again. So we don't call in name. We don't call in name in the prang yet.
Let the judgment pass.
But the time go come and we go call name.
Let the judgment pass.
By this fella time, we talk about inexperience, we talk about lack of institutional knowledge, and we talk about arrogance, these three things. Every time they're making us look like prophets. They're making us look good. Igwe. But Igwe, I see something come out there and I must make reference to it.
What is that?
They say significant progress. I want to take my time with it because I like to be fair in my commentary. Significant progress in healthcare delivery despite apparent slow pace. Now, I want people living in Grenada to listen to this. The Ministry of Health is reassuring the public that while progress may seem slow on the surface, substantial strides are being made to enhance the delivery of healthcare across the nation. They're not for people in the diaspora, they're for people living here. In a recent statement, the ministry highlighted several key initiatives and improvements that are currently on the way. Because I take out my dark shades, but I don't see some of the things they're saying, but I go read it still. Human resource training and development. Ongoing training programs for healthcare professionals are being expanded to ensure that nursing and medical staff are equipped with the latest knowledge and skills to address emerging health challenges. So far, 4 nurses have received specialist training in the area of post-basic psychiatric nursing, near-foreign nursing, operating room nursing, and intensive care nursing. So intensive care and operating room and thing, but children still dying, so I don't know, maybe it's already yet. I don't know. In addition, the ministry facilitated training of 6 doctors over the past few months. The doctors who underwent specialist training in Cuba, Guyana, and Jamaica are trained in orthopedics, intensive care, and internal medicine. Just over a week ago, the ministry partnered with the Grenada Medical and Dental Council in facilitating the training of 4 additional doctors attached to Accidents and Emergency Department of the General Princess Alice Princess Royal Hospital in the area of acute trauma and life support. Enhanced mosquito control measures. In response to the increasing concern over mosquito-borne illness, the ministry has implemented comprehensive mosquito control programs. This includes widespread use of insect repellent, public education campaign, and protective measures in an effort to eliminate stagnant water where mosquito breed. That's happening by me. I want somebody to call me and tell me, after I finish with it, I want people to call and tell me this thing happening by them, because I don't find it happening by where I know, and I don't find people tell me, because people tell me most things. Improve health care infrastructure. Significant internal planning is happening for the purpose of upgrading healthcare facilities, ensuring that they are equipped and smarted to withstand natural disasters such as cyclone. Major work will begin in 2025. So why tell us that? Are they always saying that? The ministry has completed installation of a new roof to the tune of $150,000 on the Princess Royal Hospital in Carriacou, which lost its roof 2 months ago during the passage of burial. So why do you fix the leak in Maryborough Hospital? You $150,000 for you fix Carriacou, which is good, and that's good. But how come you leave the leak on them in Maryborough Hospital? While the ministry is working to restore its full complement of healthcare service on the sister isle of Carriacou and Pittimatnik, temporary refurbishment have started on the Leicester and Windward medical stations. Community health initiative. The ministry is actively promoting community health initiative, including vaccination drive, health screening, and wellness program aimed at improving overall public health. This includes the ongoing dental and continuing health outreach program in Carriacou and on mainland Grenada. Public engagement and education. Through the Health Promotion Department, efforts to engage and educate the public in health matters have intensified. This includes campaigns to raise awareness about preventative nursing and healthy lifestyle choices, dengue, acupuncture, soft fever virus, and mpox, which is, I think is monkeypox, formerly known as monkeypox. They finally started to talk about monkeypox. And we're telling them about monkeypox a long time. We've been saying that almost a year now. But they finally get the memo. Grenada was one of the first countries in the region to launch its public education campaign on the 220 international public health threats. The journey towards fully optimized healthcare system is ongoing. This positive stride reflects the ministry and government dedication to continuously improving and making it public for all Grenadians. In this regard, the Ministry of Health remains committed to its mission of providing accessible, high-quality healthcare to citizens. Well, they put out a statement, finally. You know, when you're watching wrestling, and The Rock used to say, finally, The Rock has come back. Finally, the Ministry of Health has wake up from its slumber. Like somebody pricked them. But fix the link in Maryborough Hospital.
Please.
And you see, major work will begin in 2025. You take a set of money in a supplemental budget, you get a set of free money, you're not fixing it. You're putting it in place for your friends to go and take it in GDB. And once we're on GDB, we want to know. Well, Dennis, you go know. And the Minister of Everything should know. The Prime Minister must know. If any member, he or she of the board, any member of the board, has any application for a loan in GDB. Because you had a program where a board member did not deny getting a loan. But her defense was she didn't know. Igwe. Dennis pretending he don't know. But the clause is clear. Members of the legislature. The legislature means all MPs and senators and the family and all board members and the family is not eligible for loans at the GDP. But then he said them pretending they don't know. The law is clear. If you wanted to do what you do, you are accustomed calling Parliament and make stupidness. Call Parliament and change it. You are the majority. But until such time, we want to know if any board member presently has an application for a loan at GDB. Eagle. Because we want to know about the nation's money, and seeing that 25 million has been placed in GDB Igwe. But we want to know. We need to know. Because we're operating on a... They tell us they will give information and I need to know. So that one way we need to know. And without playing. Fiscal summary of June 2024 from the government. A primary balance including grants of 23.7 million was recorded for the month of June 2024, which was 12 million more than the months targeted, but 37.1 million less than the amount recorded in June 2023. So let me break down that again. The amount of grant the government get for June was more than they expect. But they don't telling you that the reason why they didn't expect a lot is because I want to be straight with this thing on them because it's because the donor countries know that MPs who are ministers receive an increase of $60,000 per annum and $2,000 in traveling allowance. 3,000 increase in base minister's salary. Total of 87,000 per year. The allowances and traveling allowances is tax free. They are not taxed. The minister's 2023 salary was 82,000 per annum. Divide 82,000 by 12 for me because we beating and teaching.
82,000
by 12. Divide that by 12.
That's 680.
No, 6,000.
6,083.
So the minister's salary in 2020 was 6,000. Well, let me ballpark it at 7,000. But in 2024, divide 169 by 12 for me.
That's 1,408.
No, man, no. You know,
169,000, eh?
Yeah, divided by 12. Because all people understand you. Do the maths for yourself.
Divided by 12. 14,000.
Yeah. You afraid to say it?
14,000.
So they're working for 6,000 something in 2023. And the donor agency recognized all of a sudden they're working for 14,000. So the donor agency saying, well, why give these people and them with money? That is the reason for the drop in grant secret. And it goes on. And in all of that figures we mentioned, telephone and internet allowance is not included in. Let me look at the senators. Claudette and them. $71,000 divided by 12 equal.
71,000. 100,000, right?
71,000 divided by 12.
Right, divided by 12. That's 5,916.
And then now, that was in 2023. And now it's 153,000 divided by 12.
153,000 divided by 12. That's 12,750.
So they used to work for 5,000. Then all of a sudden, they're getting 12,000. So the donor agencies say, well, how come them men and them, they working for thing and the salary increase by 100%, so we don't give in all you with taxpayers' money. So that is the reason for the drop in grant. So that is it. So we come back again to institutional knowledge. How could you want people money, but you're just taking all that money for yourself? So the thing when they do us that we can't say nothing, but the donor agencies are saying, what happened to all that? We don't worry all that and that's stupidness. All they have to stop that. We take a break and come back again.
From the north, covering south, east, and west. This is Real FM.
Tell me candid, be too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, ear to ear. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over, they unleash their lawyer. Set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley. But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw. I don't need more close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So maybe I'm repeating. Go. They're like a natural disaster. 10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on their knees. And I'm begging. Into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Now this is my humble petition. Announce the date for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. And before the romance, we expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts, even in chutney I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later, to protect the future, please. For the brutal villains raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat-eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni, Sweet Man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful, gone through it to pull. Don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they does follow now. Before we regret tomorrow, please. You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample. Go. It's only vice they desire. Now. Before the 5 years expire, like a dog with fleas, a dog on the knees. And a bleeding go now. Before we end in bankruptcy. Before they empty the treasury, streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm bleeding go now. Immediately. And don't forget your AG go now. Please. Love to quarrel, always oral, highly immoral. They let the good doctor starve to death. Used to court him, once support him, no road to point for him. But once in power, they quickly forget. They love confrontation, so no mediation. The case by the Privy Council, but the warriors is settled. You see, you could make a fortune, filling up a lagoon. The environment is boost out its people too. Is why I want them go. With them old lies they peddling now. It's only PR they selling. They wouldn't tell me the whole truth. The man just wanted a root. Before they carve out a mountain. Before the cost we start counting like a dog with fleas, a dog on the knees. And I'm begging go now. Always get the contract. Who profit from the kickback? Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing go now. Tell Munila and Surush. It's best they seek refuge. Go now, please.
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive. Color by Sissy. Let your
Tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, ear to ear. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over, they unleash their lawyer. Set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley. But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw. I don't need come close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So maybe I repeating go. They're like a natural disaster now. 10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on the knees. And I'm begging go now. We and I did one week. Prophesy to the country. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing go now. This is my humble petition. Announce the date for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few to safeguard our image before it cause more damage like a
Again, that we are in the era of social media where you can document and record everything. You can see how fast something is moving. But if you compare what we are doing to some of our neighboring islands who were affected, we are fine front. We are fine front. If you look in Carriacou, you are seeing that the hospital in Carriacou is being covered. You are seeing Hillsborough School is being covered, right? You are seeing the fact that we are moving the governance from the sea, all these things, So Junior and Grenada, we are moving fast. Some may not accept it, or some may not want to accept it. But if you compare to our neighboring islands, we are moving faster than them. But I'm saying that it doesn't mean that we cannot move faster. It doesn't mean, that that we have to be relaxed.
You don't hear Andy lie. Andy, which other island in the region that was affected by burial? What Grenada are moving faster than? St. Vincent Bill Schools, Union Island, over 500 houses fixed. Materials is being given to people, and I could attest to that. When I tell you that, Andy, I don't speak in hearsay. I tell you what I know. So why you go on this program to mislead the people? All you don't stop it. All you lie about pension, all you lie about permanent, all you lie about seaweed, all you continue to lie. You still in this day and age, and hear how this guy out of working. He say in this age of science and technology, when we see what's happening on the ground in St. Vincent, when we see Ralph Gonzalez every time he visit the Grenadines, and we see the progress, when everybody in Carriacou balling on a little rainfall because the Kalalukori and the still going on things on social media where people go see him and just lying. Let's take the call.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey, man. Wago?
Yes, not too bad. Good afternoon to the listeners and viewers, wherever you are. And so, and my apologies for today to everyone. Yeah. And so it's circumstances beyond my control. The last point you focus on was the line. We have a government that is bent on using the method of lying deliberately to its citizens to achieve whatever goals, the end goals that they want, right? Their whole thing from the beginning, during the campaign till when they get in office, was to lie to the Grenadian people. And there are facts. We have receipts for that. So no need for also, you could mention a two or three, but there are so much that this government is lies is built on, right? I mean, we could make an entire dossier. No. And the thing is, the Grenadian people, most of them are not paying attention to the lies. I mean, without us and the other social media platforms and so that basically scrutinize the government, everybody seems to be dumb. The unions, right? The bar association, all the different organizations, they seem to be dumb when it comes to these things. They are not forceful. And because it is clear of how these guys are. And secondly, with all the lies, and so they started to pilfer the Grenada Development Bank. You have here ministers getting loan. You have board members getting loan when they know it's illegal. And then you have the Prime Minister and Master Carl, your parliamentary representative, the Finance Minister, Sir Cornwall, blatantly disregarding the rules and regulations of the Grenada Development Bank and saying it is okay for ministers to get loan. That is wickedness. That is outright wickedness and worthlessness by these politicians. You understand, in terms of what they're doing. And then, thirdly, in my view, the whole question of salary, and you mentioned it. In 2 years, these parliamentarians had a raise a pay. Twice. I mean, you understand? $2,000 and then how much the how much $1,000. Over 100% raise increase, right, in their salaries. And you know what? We as Grenadians sit down there and we taking that on we back, we ladder low. They resting the ladder on we back. And we stand up there taking that. Way over here, politicians in 2 years, take a raise of 100%, while they turn around and they're giving the public workers and other workers in Grenada 4.15% and that sort of thing, right? I mean, this is criminal, you know, what these guys are doing, and we are allowing them to do it. Look, my appeal to the Grenadian people, listen to the facts. Gather your information. Don't sit idly by and say, oh, these guys in the north and whoever running their mouth and they're doing this. Just listen to what we are saying and search for yourself. And you will see, right, what we are saying is true. And if that is good for Grenada, it is criminal for what these guys are doing to this country in 2 years. Gentlemen, have a blessed evening. But just before I go, at this point in time, I think the women's arm of the NNP is meeting at the St. John's, I think RC school, right? And so on. I want to wish them all the best. And when we have women that are strong and united, the party stands firm. You can't move that. Most of the times, the mothers and the women are the pillars in the house. The major pillars in the house, they are, right? And we must show that respect to them and give them that support. So to all the women of the NNP and those to become NNP members, kudos to you. And as we move forward, let us organize and let us do what it takes to retake the governance of this country to ensure that our families prosper and not just a few people reaping the benefits of this country. Gentlemen, have a blessed afternoon.
Before you go to say some just hold their head and ball, but them women and them stronger than a wall, eh?
Yes. And that is so true. And that is really testimony to the women that we have in the new national party.
Right.
Have a blessed evening.
Have a next call on
Hello?
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 Yes, you're on.
Hello, Igwe?
Hey.
What going?
Ade? What's the party?
Line thing breaking up. You alright, Igwe?
Yeah, everything good. Everything
good.
Hey,
there, man.
Everything good, man.
What happened? I thought I'd see you with your jersey today, man. What happened? You get your jersey?
All among fowls. All among fowls.
Man, you should. Yeah, Carl, I don't know what happening, man.
Now we go sort things out, man. We go by Tuesday, Wednesday, you should have good news.
Maybe you need to put a hand.
No, man, you have a long time to go for that thing.
Call after the program. We go talk that talk.
Okay, right.
All right.
Yeah, talking about Andy Williams. I saw a clip with Eddie Frederick. Eddie Frederick said they should bring that man to the square and lynch him, you know.
When he say that?
Yeah, and Jenny, if you look at Jenny's show, Jenny played that record with Eddie Frederick. Eddie Frederick against them bad. He talk bad about the Prime Minister. He talk bad about all of them. You must listen to that clip, man. I saw it Thursday and Jenny show.
You should send it for us.
Maybe rain no falling on that galvanized.
He didn't call his name, but what he was saying, the man would come in Parliament and and he didn't have nothing, and he doing everything on his own, and he going wrong like headless chicken. They should bring him in the square and lynch him. Give him a good beating.
Don't worry, man. Election day, you'll get lynched, man.
Yeah,
Don't fret.
yes. All you're doing a good job, man. So everything okay so
Yeah, for
far?
now.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. You all doing a good job. Everybody in England talking good about you all, man. Keep
Yeah,
it
man.
up.
Well, you have to talk to them too for Igwe.
Yeah, after this program, I'll call you.
All right, okay.
Okay then, take care.
I'm an ex-colleague.
Yeah, let take it.
Hey.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hey.
Hello?
Yes, you on.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you on. Yeah, we're listening you.
Okay. Good afternoon, Master Carl.
You're listening to the phone.
Right. Huh?
You're gone.
Yeah. My concern, right?
Speak up a bit.
Give him more volume.
Okay. My concern is about the registration of persons coming into the country. Okay, let me see. I'm speaking loud.
Yeah, we're hearing you now.
All right, that's it.
All right, okay. Yes, my concern is about registration. We have been hearing that people are coming from America, Canada, and elsewhere to register. Okay, the laws of natural justice regarding the electoral process is that you must be domiciled in the country at least 1 year, or in the constituency in which you are registered, you must be domiciled there for at least 1 year before you can participate in an election. Therefore, if people come in from the diaspora and register now, and they return, how long would they have to stay in the country before they are eligible to vote? Because I don't understand how you could come here now to register, go back wherever you are living, and then come 1 or 2 days before election and vote. I don't know if that is legal. So I would like you all to clarify that aspect for me, and the Grenadian public to understand that somebody must be in a constituency for at least 1 year before they can participate in a general election.
Just to simplify, they should be living in the constituency 1 year.
The phone.
Yeah.
The phone give a little trouble. What you saying?
Yeah, the important part. You see a lot of people coming from the diaspora and come and they tell them to register. But based on electoral, you're supposed to be living domicile, mean to be living.
You're supposed to stay at least a year.
In that area for at least a year in the constituency or in the country. So those who just come and register and go, that ought to be, so that why we have to be vigilant with the electoral list. So when we see that, these things have to be reported. So it's not just about saying what NDC doing or what they're doing. It's about minding your own damn business.
Yes.
So NMP have to mind your own damn business in terms of the electoral list. And everybody, don't leave it for the next person and say how the opposition don't do nothing. Everybody, if you know somebody what come here and register, if you live in Hermitage and you see 3 persons come and register and you know they don't stay in here, you have to let it be known these people are not living here. Igwe. So that is an important thing, Igwe. So, because you see, we're here to give information. The Caribbean Agricultural Bank, Caribbean Development Bank Loan Regulation, Section 29 SR 02 of 1973, the 17th of February 1973. Citation: this regulation may be cited as the Grenada Agricultural Bank, Caribbean Development Bank Regulation. Definition: in this regulation, banks mean the Grenada Agricultural Bank. Grenada mean the state of Grenada. Loans mean funds advanced to the bank under the loan agreement dated 13th December 1972 and made between the Caribbean Development Bank and the state of Grenada. Project means the financing of the Bank of Agricultural Development by provided medium and long-term loans to farmers for any of the purposes set out in the annex, with funds provided by the government out of the proceeds of the loan. Sub-borrower means a person obtaining a sub-loan from the bank. Sub-loan means a loan financed by the bank out of the loan. And in section 5, it says, the bank shall not make sub-loans, mean loans financed by out of the bank. So they should not give money out of the bank, out of the proceeds of loan, to a director of the bank, that's GDB, or to a member of the legislature. I mean, once you in parliament, once you're in the sanctity of parliament, you becomes a member of the legislature and make laws. So senators included, of the state of Grenada, or to any company. So if you're a director and you have a company controlled by such director, or a member of the legislature. So we're hearing about company control by board of directors. We're hearing about company control by a certain member of the legislature and close relative to such. So the question is, are they doing something criminal or illegal? And not me at write this thing, you know. This thing was since in 1972. I was green them time, man. I couldn't able to write those things on them. I was rather green. And to the call I would speak about earlier on the Eddie Frederick issue, I think it's Jonathan Lacrette he was talking about. Because they so vexed with Mr. Lacrette. They still vex. They so vex. They good vex. The people want to know, Igwe, what is the status of the $22.5 million for independence? Because here we spoke about it, we say, what is the priority? And persons did not believe. So now we reach to the police ego. Pay and grade, we want that. We reach on the police, because the police and them been speaking to me, they calling me. Let me take the call.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
Masaka, how you doing, boy?
Easy.
You good? I did. Yeah, man, you're doing a wonderful job. Masaka, I just want to confirm the guy I was talking about, Eddie Frederick. Man, I was shocked to see that clip. Yeah, he's right, he's correct.
Yeah, but we don't give them too much forward on the radio.
No. I'm just saying that is a turn around in the right direction, I believe. Yeah. I just say I want to confirm the guy point. It's true. Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah, Igwe.
To the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force who put their lives at risk, we know that since 1995, there has been no pay and salary grade adjustment for you. That is 22 years ago. No adjustment to your pay and salary scale. And I therefore assure you that the National Democratic Congress will address that issue.
Dal? Yeah. Please take it for me.
To the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force who put their lives at risk, we know that since 1995, there has been no pay and salary grade adjustment for you. That is 22 years ago. No adjustment to your pay and salary scale. And I therefore assure you that the National Democratic Congress will address that issue.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello. Hello. Yes, just return. Quickly, two things. You know, sometime during the week, I heard the chairman of the Nutmeg and So Association made a statement basically saying that all farmers need to go and get registered or so concerning the payments that the government is offering. Now, I've made the claim. He said all farmers, not all farmers who are affected, but he said all farmers. So that is creating a bit of controversy among farmers as to what is the whole situation with that. And nextly, as I always do, right, and to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique in particular, you know, I continue to empathize with you on the situation that you are in, right? My heart is always with you, my heart and prayers. And I pray that the government get up off the ass and do something about the housing stock in Carriacou and stop talking about build back better and assist the people to build back so they can put a roof over their head to secure themselves, right? It is traumatizing, and I understand. I mean, I know how, well, I can't say I know how they are feeling possible, but I have an idea as to some of the things that they are going through, right? So we must continue to pray for them and to continue to put pressure on the government to secure them, especially the vulnerable persons who can't and who have to wait, right, for government assistance and so to build back the houses. Thank you.
All right.
Play that clip again of the Prime Minister.
I have a call on the WhatsApp.
Well, let me take it.
Hello?
Hola?
Hello? I lost it. Moving to Breeze Romney. You want to hear the clip again?
Yeah.
To the men and women of the Royal Grenadier Police Force who put their lives at risk, we know that since 1995, there has been no pay and salary grade adjustment for you. That is 22 years ago.
What year is it, 22?
No
22 years ago.
adjustment to your pay and salary scale. And I therefore assure you that the National Democratic Congress will address that issue.
So, Igor, let me look at this thing in its context. Now, for the last week or the last couple of days, there was this talk. Let me take it.
Hello?
Good day.
Hello?
We are from family.
Hello?
One cut off me.
Back? You coming again?
Yeah, coming again. Coming again. Hello? Hello?
Master Call and Igwe.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Listening. I'm good, thanks. Calling from the diaspora.
Hey!
Just to keep up the good works. My thing today is the nation purse has been brutalized by this group of vultures and Nation Builders Inc. I'm convinced that we have two cabinets in our parliament. Finance Minister saying one thing, while Okrohan saying another. NMP, let's get our acts together to get this government out. This should be our only mission. Don't get distracted. Have a wonderful evening.
All right.
All right, diaspora.
Okro hands, she saying. I like
Yes.
that. Okro hands.
So, Igwe,
Yeah.
so there is this thing going around on social media.
Talk to me.
One Miss Jenny Simon spoke to some maths. They say the maths didn't maths, but we know. And they make so much a song and dance about it.
But they maths don't maths in.
But from 1995 to 2022 is 27 years. The Prime Minister said 22 years and nobody will say nothing. Because he's Bruce Almighty. So if you want to talk about maths, start right there. Start with him. So I just say that to be petty. Like them. I have to say, what if I talk about maths, start with the Prime Minister. 1995 to 2022 is 27 years and not 22 years. He missed it by 5 years. Just like the 5 million. What going on begging? Where is that 5 million? Secondly, from 1995 to 2022, the police has received increment, and increment is moving from one scale to the other one. So if you don't know what you're talking about salary scale, somebody tell him. Once you move by increment, you move up the scale. Nobody don't tell him that.
You don't know.
And then only when NDC was in power, for 4 years, 7 months, and 19 days, the police didn't get increase in salary. Anytime NNP was in power, the police get increase in salary. Even when shed sacrifice, they still get a $1,000 one-off payment. Yeah, let me take the call.
Hello? Hello?
Gentlemen.
Yes, sir. There we go. Yeah.
Yes, you're on.
Hello, gentlemen.
Yes, go on.
Hey.
Master Carl.
Hey.
Before I go into my substantive point, this is a subject matter I've never actually dealt with. But the statement made by the Prime Minister, repeated by Andy, relative to the police force not having a succession plan, to my mind, and I think to anybody's mind who understands what a police force is constituted, what the army, the air force, and such military type organizations are constituted, there's an automatic succession plan within the system, within the institution, within the process, so that you don't need to have a particular, let's say, government design succession plan. This is not something that could be designed by the Minister for National Security and such. You go into the force, whether it's the police force, the army, or whatever, there is levels and grading. So that you reach the highest rank, you become the commissioner. You reach the highest rank, you become a 5-star general or whatever. And you could be made leader in the process. So that this whole complaint that the Prime Minister was making, and I think it was even repeated by the Attorney General at one time, if I remember rightly, that there is no succession plan within the police force, the Grenada police force, is absolutely senseless and absurd.
Well, let me tell you this.
And policemen should come forward and make statements relative to this kind of thing sometimes, especially if police who have passed through the system and the process already.
Let me tell you this. The reason why...
go on.
Right? The reason why Fitzroy-Bido...
Go ahead.
The reason why Fitzroy-Bido moved from a constable to the commissioner, the reason why Winston James moved from a constable to the commissioner, the reason why Vanny Cohen moved from a constable to a ACP, the reason why Don McKenzie moved from a constable to the commissioner, because of succession planning. So when they talk about succession planning, you know they don't know.
The system. They don't understand what they're saying. That's just automatic. And people who think logically, or if people learn to think logically, they will recognize the nonsensicalness about the kind of statement, or relative to the kind of statement that the Prime Minister made and repeated by a few of his other ministers. Or they're not doing anything to correct such anomaly. So when you hear that kind of statement coming from the highest level, especially the Prime Minister being a Minister for National Security, and there is so much confusion within the police force, as evident by the amount of high-ranking officers that left, frustrated because of the nonsense that they have instituted within the system or the process right now. a whole lot of disappointment, and a whole lot of officers have left who are planning to leave even right at this moment. But that is understood. Who listening should understand that, make that clear by now. But in listening to Andy and his claim that the economy is doing well, I don't know if he actually made that statement after the budget supplementary or before. But if he made it after, it is evident coming from the budget, from that debate, that the government for the first 6 months, they said it loud and clear, for the first 6 months, revenue has dropped by 30%. Now that 30% is the amount that is expected from their projection. So let's say they was expecting 30 million. They get only 70% of that. Or if they were expecting, let's say 1 million, they get 70% of that. Right. But even if you do a comparison, and that is not what is being done by them, do a comparison of the revenue collection during Dr. Kit Mitchell period and the collections that are being made now. The reports coming during Dr. Kit Mitchell period, every month, and it translates to the year too, that the government gets a lot more revenue than was expected every single time. And that happened for over 12 years. Well, I'm from 13, sorry, over 10 years. It happened for over 10 years. Every single year, every single month, government collects a lot more revenue than was expected. This is why they came and made that pregnant treasury, as it was referred to. Now you have the present Minister for Finance, my good friend, Dennis, on that program on Wednesday on GBN. He's 3 times he made a statement. He made statement trying to debunk what comes out from that radio station, from your program, from Mr. Pierre program, as false, and Grenadians should not believe in it. And one of them was dealing with the whole issue of the bank giving money, or the Grenada Development Bank giving money to ministers or legislatures and so on. To say that this is not a clause coming from the bank here, it is coming from donor agency or the Caribbean Development Bank in particular he was referring to, that set that up as a clause for the bank to follow. So in other words, it's not the bank necessarily having that initiative. It is designed outside of our bank. That is absolutely nonsense, because the Caribbean Development Bank is what initiate, and that's what this bank here is predicated on, the initiative of the Caribbean Development Bank, which was designed for the same purpose that we have that Grenada Development Bank. And within the clause, it says that ministers, legislators, and so on, and board members are not eligible for, and the family, immediate family, are not eligible for loans. So if people are going to believe what Dennis said on Wednesday, it just twists the whole thing upside down. And if people are going to let themselves believe this kind of nonsense that's coming from these ministers and them, except they don't have a clue as to what the constitution, especially in this country, says. These guys are not going to get away with murder of that country. By the time they finish with that country, Grenada loses its identity. Grenadians lose all their senses of responsibility, because the moral standards that these guys are setting, the level of corruption that is obvious and evident, and the whole thing is designed for that purpose, because the Prime Minister announced earlier on that they are doing whatever to make this GDB bank a commercial banking.
Yeah.
There's legislation
shareholders and so on
in the air, and all this kind of nonsense. That was not the original purpose of the Grenada Development Bank.
Never.
It is predicated on what the same Caribbean Development Bank is predicated on. It is not the same as the banks that are set up through the Eastern Caribbean Exchange, which Dr. Antoine is in charge of now. It is not the same. The Caribbean Development Bank is designed completely different. And it is similar to what you have in Grenada. This is why the Grenada one was established. So don't worry, Dennis, we're trying to bamboozle people and fool people here with this nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Take care, gentlemen.
All right.
Igwe, he touched a point, and I would say this. A paramilitary organization like the RGPF, the succession plan is built into the rank and training structure. Well, I guess the minister, the advisor on national security don't know that. Because if he didn't know that, tell the Prime Minister and Andy and them to stop talking that stupid he said a very long time out. You have called there again? Boy, Igwe, it is sad. When persons who ought to be in the know like Dennis trying to come and fool people. So yes. So 9th, let me take it.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Igwe.
Hey.
I listened just a while ago. I was listening to one of the gentlemen who called in and speak about the Eddie Frederick quotation. I think I listened to that quotation from Jenny, and I don't believe Eddie Frederick was against the NDC. He was telling the NDC to put a good curtail and lacquerette.
Yeah.
That was one. And secondly, that's the most worthless set of things I ever hear from a civilized person. He was encouraging the government and reminding the people who get work from the government that those are y'all who get work and now becomes managers and who is doing well. You could pay your mortgage and pay your salary and pay your this and your that now. Stand up for NDC. Don't get misled and play you as manager and you're becoming in this kind of way now. Stand up for NDC. He was encouraging these people to stand up and fight for the government, whether or not the government is doing good or bad.
Yeah.
Just remember, you're getting your big salary now. You could pay your mortgage and you could do this and you could do that, and you're now living in luxury. So remember that luxury you're now living in is because of this administration, and you should stand up for them. So people should not say that the government is doing anything wrong. These people, they shouldn't stay dumb when they hear programs and different things that's bringing down the showing the evils of the government. They should stand up and help the government lie. This is something what Eddie was trying to encourage, and he's telling them, if you're not doing that, you're ungrateful. This is what I interpret what Eddie was saying. And to me, this is the worst I have ever heard from a motivational speaker. He sung even worse than Ken Jones. Listen to him. He tried to be intellectual with it, but when you bring it down to the floor, this man is rotten and smelling. And I could go as far to say, I hate what I heard. It was not to do with politics, it was to do with encouraging people. Even though your administration is oppressing people and doing nonsense, you should back them. Because why you get a big job, be grateful to the job. It's like Eddie Frederick was insulting them with the job they get. Remember when you couldn't pay your mortgage and you used to say things hard and things bad? Now you get managerial work. Don't stay there and be stuck up as no manager and come out and defend the government.
So he was encouraging public officers to violate the public service rules?
That is what he was doing. This guy is rotten.
You want to work in the post office too?
And we wasting money by giving this guy contract to go all around in hospitals and speaking to nurses as motivational speaker. This guy lose what is his morals. He lose the right to speak to people as any motivational speaker. This guy, what he said about the people of River Road, looking down at the people in River Road and Dabo, has disqualified this guy to motivate anybody in Grenada. And it's time for the government to stop wasting away money, giving them these contracts to go and talk this set of nonsense to people. It hurts to see a man like Eddie is being paid to go and speak to public servants, motivating them to do what? To see that the Prime Minister looked down at them and said he should move away from them when he looked down at River Road, and the way he was so cynical about the people of River Road and the Dabo area.
Yeah.
This guy is not patriotic. And what he was saying there, Brett, we had to wake up and be even more vigilant, because Eddie realized that the nail is coming down in their coffin, and he's pushing hard. And who he's trying to use? The poor little people who get jobs. Not just the civil servants, but people who get contract as security contracts and different things. These are the people he's speaking to and trying to store them up so that they, despite of what, defend the nonsense. Thank you, Igwe.
All right. You're only encouraging public workers to violate the public service rules, and it's okay. So to do, Igwe. So let me the pay and grade. So the guy know, although he lie on the amount of years, and nobody don't make no tongue about that because he maths good. He's deputy guard, so he could say anything. Police have continued to receive increments. They can only know about that. And then Whelan maybe don't know, so he can tell you. And increase of salaries under NNP only when NDC was there for 4 years, 7 months and 19 days. But you know 22 years, so for argument's sake, let we agree with you it's 22 years. So why you negotiating with the police now and don't want to pay retroactive? You say you only want to pay them from next year. You're so kind. Play the clip again, let it hear Igwe.
To the men and women of the Royal Grenadier Police Force who put their lives at risk, we know that since 1995, there has been no pay and salary grade adjustment for you. That is 22 years ago. No adjustment to your pay and salary scale. And I therefore assure you that the National Democratic Congress will address that issue.
Is that it, Igwe? So I challenge you, gentlemen, on the increment. You say nothing happened with the scale. Men move in scales. And the increase in salaries. But now, after you fool the police, and you tell them everything will be nice, now you're telling the police, we don't pay, we don't entertain no retroactive talk. But you don't address pay and grade. But you move the Fiscal Resiliency Act from 9 to 13% for you to pay the minister's money, which the donor agencies say, well, you're taking all that money for yourself, so we don't waste any money and give you. So you're getting less grants, and you don't want to pay the police. But the police have to take note. The police have to understand what here is at play. Because let me give a background to this pay and grade thing, what he don't know. And I want anybody to challenge me. When we brought it to the attention of the government negotiating team, Mr. Isaac, and they have to hold on. Let me, because I give you not information. Tell her hold. The government of the day, in recognition, and let me go from the genesis. There was a pay and grade exercise in 1995, Igwe. And when they equate job thing, they wrote, and all the ministries and so on indicate to government they was not satisfied how they were paid. The police never respond. We have to give Jackie. So the police, for all intention and purposes, seems to be happy with what they get. Because they never respond. Certain people, after they retire and they go on their desk, they see the letter unopened. I spit in facts because our receipts here. Calculator not say that. So we approach the government, but they say in lieu of another pay and grade exercise in the public service, they're going to give some allowances to compensate. At that time, we didn't have the pension thing. Maybe then if you had pension thing, we'd have asked for the allowances to be pensionable. We didn't have that. And one swipe at the negotiations, persons receiving excess of $700 increase in allowances. Facts. I want them to say that not true. We had the receipts, Igwe. So to say nothing was done is just a blatant lie. But now, after you know all of that, you know 22 years when it was really 27 years. So now it's 29 years now. So you want to leave out 28 years and only address 1 year. Have a heart, Dick and Mitchell. Have a heart. Because you see, you like to talk too much, and as my good friend senior say, you like to lie like when horse trotting. And the good book say, be sure your sins will find you out. But they want to pay out of the 29 years you know, from 1995, you want to pay for 1 year. 1 year. And you don't want to interfere with the retroactive. So all who have solved before, and you say it was bad because you didn't pay them, you don't want to give them 1 cent. And you say you're dealing with pay and grade. You're not dealing with pay and grade, man. You're trying to bribe some people. Let me take the call.
Hello? Hello?
Hola? Hello, listen to the phone. So that's it, Igwe, with the situation. The session must be starting the thing with the women. So.
Yeah, we have a call. Hello?
Right.
Yes, gentlemen.
Hey.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes. You know, a few years ago, well enough, that is during the 1990s. It was during the time the NDC was in power, in the 90s, from 90 to 95. Dr. Raphael Fletcher and I had a conversation in which he brought up that issue, that kind of issue, I should say, where a diplomat came to Grenada, looked around, and said that, what are we giving donation to these people for? Because this seems well off. Now, what I'm bringing up that to show is what you are pointing out there, Carl.
Mm-hmm.
That these guys don't understand that when taxpayers in other country looking at the behavior of what is going on in Grenada, especially the rise in salary that these guys had for the past 2 years, over 130-something%, just in their salary. And the big pay that others or cronies of the government, ministers, are getting. The donors are not foolish. They are factoring all these things in them.
Mm-hmm.
People need to understand that. I tell you, Dr. Raphael Fletcher pointed out that to me in a conversation one time. What a diplomat said relative to that kind of issue. This is something that they're always looking at. But these guys don't understand the dynamics of government. So they don't get that message yet. They didn't get that memo yet. So if they think that other governments or even institutions like the United Nations and so on are not looking at the kind of things that is happening in this country, they are fooling themselves. But let me address a little bit of what one of your callers brought up with Eddie Fredericks and so on. Brian Grimes, earlier on last week, pointed out that they are awake now about what is actually going on. The tactics that the government started using early. where they bypassing the union and giving money to civil servants and so on, especially in the case of the nurses, where the $500 was offered. It was not done through the union. The government went about, or the Prime Minister, as the Minister of Finance, went about straight and did it. But Brian Grimes is saying that they come now to recognize actually the strategy and tactics that the government is using, and that they are going to do everything now to stop that nonsense, because they recognize the danger it is putting the union, because the union is there to represent the members. But if the government is bypassing the members, or the union, sorry, and go straight to the members, that dilute the powers or even the authority. And remember that, and they don't forget to remember that too, that unions are within our constitution. They have that right. Workers have that right for union representation established through constitution. So Deacon cannot do anything to stop that. But he's doing everything in his power to bypass the union and get to the workers. That would not work.
Let me tell you something.
The eyes have been opened. Daisy Hazard mentioned a few months ago, maybe about 2 months by now, that they are doing peacekeeping at the hospital. The union is doing peace because the nurses are fed up with the whole nonsense that is going on. Take care, gentlemen.
Before you go, Carla, you there?
Yeah.
The government, remember when the guy had this speech in the trade center, at the same time he talked about the Polish gentleman. He spoke about the union. And he said when he called them, they didn't come. So he now has an axe to grind the union. So he had to punish the union. So that is why he usurping the role of the union and going behind the back and try to do things. So it's a well orchestrated plan by the guy. This thing don't happen ordinarily.
Yes. I brought up that point sometime last week or just recently in one of that program. I never forget it. When he said, and he was angry, when he said that Jonathan, he was just the leader of the NDC party. He wanted to have a meeting with all the unions, and they refused to partake in such a meeting. The unions were right. If union is going to meet with a political leader of a party, it seems like they are biased and they're going to buy into his program or the party's idea. And they recognize that would have been a diplomatic blunder. They refused to go along with him. And when he mentioned that at the time, it's because he was angry and warning them, hello, I am in power now. You didn't want to meet with me, but you have to deal with me. Basically, that's what he was saying. And like I keep pointing out to people, this guy is doing everything because he hangs like a sword of Damocles over people's head. That's how he functions. That's his psychology. And he thinks he could fool people and he thinks he could get away with it. It's not going to happen in Grenada. I'm telling you all, it's not going to happen. And especially now that the union's eyes are so widely open, he has an uphill task that he cannot handle. Take care.
All right, Carla. You're having a hard time, there, right? More retirees, they say more retirees coming back and get work in the police force after they say there's succession planning. We go deal with the retiree. That's also come back again, Igwe. So the guy don't really addressing pay and grade, Igwe. Same thing he's trying to do. So try to confuse the police and say he give them X, Y, and Z. You let me take it.
Hello? Hello? Somebody monkeying the thing.
What are they doing?
They calling and play back the program. Like
maybe they listening to the the radio and not the phone. Can you have a delay too? Yes, Igwe. So that is the purpose. So the gentleman just continue to try to fool people. And he trying a shot on the police there. Because he promised them when NDC come, they go deal with it. Now NDC is here. They tell them they can't deal with the retroactive. But he could have dealt with it for the ministers by adjusting the Fiscal Responsibility Act and take money. But now, he's telling them he can't do nothing about that. And that in itself is something very, very, very sad, Eagle.
Where you call again?
Let me take it.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi, fellas up in the north. Yeah, you're making noise. So thanks for the noise you're all making. We knowing what is going on in this country, so continue making noise.
All right.
Yeah, so anyway, they're talking about NDC this and NDC that here, and NDC doing good. You remember in 2000, Carl, you talked about it a while ago, in 2008, 2013, not 1 cent they give on increase in salary to public workers.
Mm-hmm.
When the Nancy Mokosi Minister of Finance, when they had negotiation with the union, he said 0%.
Yes. Fact.
Nobody does say nothing. I remember when you made a celebration. If you see the union people and them hugging up with the NDC, them big boys and them, nobody don't make noise. I was a public servant. Nurses supposed to get shoes and uniform. We don't, for the 4 years, we don't get a piece of cloth, not a shoes. I used to go to work with any damn shoe, any color, nobody can tell me nothing, and I'm going with scrubs because they don't give us. It's when an MP come into power in 2013 going back, we start every year, we start to get uniform and shoes. So when they're talking about NDC, always don't like public workers. It's only when NMP they inside there, they just get like an increase in salary. So, and the same people and them just come and banter. Before anything, they're jumping up to strike. They're jumping up to strike. But it's NMP is the one that care about public workers, not NDC. So I want people to know that between that time, we didn't get 1 cent increase in salary. They say 0%. And just coming to the NMP because they know they would lose the election, they go and put something in place. And when NMP come in power, they had to pay it. So nobody can tell me about this NDC people and them. They are wicked, mischievous people and they don't like poor people. Anyway, fellas, continue making noise up there. We listen you all.
We daily not.
Okay, all
right. I like that. I like
how she put it.
I like that talking.
Eh?
Folks in the knot.
Yeah, man.
I like that talking shooting. Good talk, man.
You go accede to my request, man.
I send you yes. I send it from the next number. You don't go through? Is that kind of MP3 file?
No, man. Well,
actually, that file can't send you.
Huh?
You can't send.
Can't?
Because it's that MP3. Is that kind of...
Can send it to your phone?
Info A file.
You can send it to your phone?
No, I'm trying to send it to myself to forward it to you, but you don't go in.
No, man.
In truth.
What? You are losing your marbles?
Nah, if I dey close to my studio that fix, I go send it on an email and then I'll forward it to you later.
Well, do that?
Yeah.
Yes, Igwe. So they don't, you hear they talk about increase? Mm-hmm. When us Nazim Vibo cause 0.00000. But that didn't happen with the green people, the green back on them. Let's take a small break, Igwe, and come back.
Yeah, final 10 minutes on the inside.
Yeah.
Tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, ear to ear. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over, they unleash their lawyer. Set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley. But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw. I don't need come close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So maybe little rivers days.
Yes, he go.
So they say a man, he driving in SGU, but he go back in the tailor shop or retiree. I don't know if that's true.
Right. I know that man.
Retires because he don't have succession planning. Yes, he go. You don't know call on the line?
Not yet. You expecting somebody?
So here you go. We was on the pay and grade. Yeah. So we on to the police. What really going on with the police and them? Ask them job in the parliament for me. Too much of people escaping custody.
Job okay.
Dan Mackenzie, I thought you said the cell. You were satisfied with the cell in the South. St. George. Police precinct. How come people still moving out? Like, you forget, you know? Like, he really was above your pay grade? What was going on, Dan? So if they want to work in the post office, my friend, let them go and work in the post office. I don't worry, no? This post office, they like...
Mailman.
The pastor. They go down cut cloth. Alright.
Where you go down cut?
Cloth.
What's that mean?
You go down cut cloth. And who does cut cloth? You people cut cloth on my clothes. Oh, you get you lose it too. Don't say nothing. Let me see what I say. I don't want nobody explain what I say and know what I say. The pastor going back and cut cloth.
He going back and cut cloth.
He don't like driving again. He have to go and cut cloth. That's business.
Right. Get to cut cloth.
The minimum wage. The Minister of Health adhere to the minimum wage principle. Those say or information say it is alleged that when the business make money, pay go improve. Then all the people business they give you an honest day's work. So adhere to the minimum wage. Mr. Minister of Health in your entity, the chicken place. And while see what it fix the road. Yeah, let me take the call. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Mr. Carl.
What go?
I think you have to address a situation.
Tell me.
All those people who was promoted to inspector, they were demoted back to sergeant up to now. So some of them were in the uniform.
And they don't pay in them.
They don't pay in them. They say they have to address it when and when.
They getting sergeant pay. Yes. Them acting inspector, all acting ranks, they don't get in pay.
They don't get in pay.
But the Minister of Finance say they paying salaries, they paying. The max don't max in.
No.
For those acting police officers in rank, the max don't max in, Dennis.
Not even those acting, those people that say them is inspector. They're not getting anything.
So the max don't max in for them?
The same salary they get in. You understand what I'm saying there?
I get you, because the max don't max in.
Yes, so you have to deal with address that.
Well, I'll go address that on Wednesday.
Okay.
Alright.
Right, have a good day.
Well, thanks. Dennis, make a better try. Please. Stop the mama guy. Please, Dennis, make the maths for those police and them. I know you're listening. Nobody know what to tell you. Make the maths and go on another program and try to talk about the maths with the police. And try to talk about the pay and grade. And try to talk about they say things, succession planning. Because I know you're listening, so I want you to answer. And tell us about the $22.5 million for the independence money.
I know you're listening now, so I want you to answer.
And tell us about the $5 million extra with the guy who say he nearly go in jail, and we know what he nearly go in jail for. So don't tempt the guy. Where a man weak, Dennis, never tempt the man where he weaken. He go fall victims. He go yield to temptation. So Dennis, the last hope is on you.
Final call, I agree. Hello.
So, hi, good afternoon, Master Carl Igwe.
Hey.
My message is one of congratulations. And I'm congratulating you on your program and the success that you've had thus far. When government ministers, they cannot refrain from commenting, from always rebutting on your programs, you know that you've done it. That's the bomb. You have achieved what you ought to achieve.
Mission
So I
accomplished.
just want to say, mission accomplished. Exactly, Master Carl. So I just want to say congratulations to both of you. Many of us out here, your program has become compulsory.
Where you at?
With the lack of I'm in Canada.
Right.
And with the lack of investigative journalism we have, and the urge to always, and that desire to know what is happening on the island, we have no choice but to listen to programs like yours. So I just want to say congratulations to you again. Keep up the good job. I've heard from the Prime Minister to other government officials, just constantly rebut on your programs and comment on the things that you guys have been saying. So mission accomplished.
Thank you very kindly.
Yes.
All right, have a good evening now.
All right, because they stop pay those police acting allowances. Even acting inspector, they don't get in traveling and thing again. They had them like a sergeant in khaki clothes. Dennis, so rebut that again, Dennis. Tell us why. So I wonder if your brother, because I think your brother acting still. And if your brother getting pay, touch! And I don't know. We had a nice little discussion this evening.
Yes, man.
And the fact, as the last caller said, the fact that they had to rebut. Anytime they in court, Igwe, and the prosecution give evidence, and then the defense done and the prosecutor had to go back and ask question, you know the prosecution in trouble. The fact that they had to go on program and talk about all what we talk about, we know that we get in there.
In trouble.
So if you want commodities like generator and cement and chainsaw and thing,
go in Vincent.
Check Davy and Vincent.
Davy and Vincent.
You might get some.
Tell me candidly, too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear.